Hi everyone, welcome to Winmore TV, and here we are. We've got a very, very special one. We've got the 10 times ladies champion of the world, the Golden Girl, Trina Gulliver. Trina, first of all, thanks for joining us, and how are you?
I'm doing okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm getting there slowly.
I was going to say, we're going to talk about some stuff that you haven't spoken about before. Not many darts fans will know what the last few years have been like for yourself. Very testing times.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, very testing times.
Yeah. Well, we'll start at the top and the highs and the lows of your career. I've done some research and I hope my dates are right. First of all, representing Warwickshire way back in 1987 for the first time.
If you say so.
um,
yeah, it's a long time ago anyway, yes, indeed.
Yeah, good memories of county darts for the first time?
Yeah, I loved county darts. It was great, So was that my seniors or was that in the youth team?
It didn't say on the Warwickshire website. It just said your first. It didn't say which one. It was got against Cleveland. I don't know if that rings any
Yes,
bells.
I do remember that now that you've said. Yes, that was seniors.
Very nice.
The seniors, yeah.
And
I've got some good memories at Warwickshire.
And then
some good times.
And then from there, it kind of all spiraled and ballooned for you. First world title back in 2001.
Yeah.
Still remember that well?
Oh, just about. Yes, 2008. That's such a long time ago now, isn't it? But yes, I do, and it was an important, the first ladies' world championships, and that we'd managed to get finally, and it was so important as well, for us to have that stepping stone to show the BBC and sponsors what the girls could do, So and to finally come along, there was a lot of pressure on the girls that took part that weekend as well, because we knew that a bad performance by any of us was going to be criticised heavily.
Yeah, no, massively. And during that period, you had a fantastic rivalry with Frances Ursula in particular. That was like your first major rivalry that you had.
Yes, indeed. We've had many of that with Frances and I, and it's we're still in contact now. We're good friends. So it's been nice to catch up with her again soon.
Yeah, the world titles continued to roll, and you were the flag bearer for ladies darts until a certain Russian come along in Anastasia, and that was probably one of the best rivalries that we've had in the ladies game, because you two went head to toe at each other, didn't you? And it was great TV and great viewing.
Yeah, we did a little bit. So not intentional really. It was just it's just about being competitive, She wanted my title.
Yeah.
And I wasn't happy to give it up, but eventually she got out of it.
Did you two actually get on off the hockey or not, or was it civil because you both respected each other's playing ability?
No, we got on. We didn't have a lot to do with each other.
Yeah.
But we got on. We wasn't great mates like Fran and I,
Yeah.
But we got on, sort of thing, It was hello.
Yeah. Like sporting rivalries are. That's it. Yeah. Is the thing. And then you're stuck on 9 titles, and the 10th, and I mean this in the due respect, came from nowhere because you weren't fancied, you weren't talked about to win that 10th title. Did you ever feel that 10th was going to come along?
I was doubting it myself, because it had been quite a while between it, and it was, and it did come out. You're right, it did come out of nowhere. I think I kind of surprised myself a little bit, but everything just clicked into place for that 10th title, and everything was on my side.
The 10th or the first, do they all mean the same, or do they all have special places?
They're all different, really, but the first is obviously very special. The 10th, you never know. It would be nice to improve on, but we don't know where the ladies' game's going at the moment.
No, we're going to touch on the ladies' game later on, because obviously it's in a fantastic place. But not only the titles, you were England captain for over a decade as well, and we know how much that meant to you and, of course, Martin Adams, because you both spoke so openly about being England captain. But over a decade, it's a long, long time.
Yeah, I love being England captain. That was great, very proud moment for me. It was proud to play for England, let alone get the captaincy as well. So and to have it for so long is a big part of my career and a big part of my pride there, being England captain.
2013, you were awarded an MBE as well. Was that one of the proudest moments of not only your career but your life as well?
Yeah, it was. It was really nice. It was nice the fact that I wasn't just awarded it for my ability with the darts, for what I've done with the ladies' darts. It was for the charity work that I've done, the fundraising and everything else. So it was nice to be recognised for that side of things as well. But yeah, it was great, absolutely great. I had a brilliant day there as well. So nerve wracking.
I can imagine going to the Palace.
Well, yes, very regimental. Everything's spot on, and so you're briefed beforehand, and you're told how to address, because you don't know until the day either who's going to present your award, whether it be the Queen herself or one of the other royals. And for me, it was Prince Charles, and he was very charming.
Yeah.
He knew everything about everybody. It was quite amazing. He must have had an earpiece in or something. But yeah, he knew. Yeah, he's very pleasant, and yeah, it was really good.
From your last world title, obviously things haven't gone according to plan, and not many people know this circumstance, and we're obviously going to talk about openly with you now. But been battling the bottle, as it's called. Alcohol has played a huge part in your life over recent years, to the point where you did the punditry work for Sky at the 2018/19 World Championships. Not long after that, you actually collapsed and were seriously ill.
Yeah, that's true, and yeah, I sometimes you have to reach rock bottom to make you stand up and realise, really, sit up and realise, and that's what happened to me. I had to pull out of the World Championships beforehand, but that was just because I was feeling awful for a long time, but I just didn't realise how awful I was feeling. I kind of got used to it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I got used to being in pain, and I got used to feeling crap.
Yeah.
and yeah, and then I pulled out of the World Championships anyway, because I just physically wasn't strong enough. I was throwing at the board, and I couldn't even reach it. I couldn't reach the treble 20. I had no power in me whatsoever. I went down to 7 stone, and like you say, I was taken into hospital, and yeah, I was lucky to survive.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know this is obviously very tough for you to speak about, but I know it's something that you said you wanted to speak about. When you hit rock bottom, obviously your friends and family around you must have been out of their minds with worry. And did they know what was going on, or had you hidden it from the world?
I thought I'd hidden it from the world. But that's how naive you can be with an addiction. Then I guess, is that and you defend it to the hilt as well. To me, in my mind, I was poorly because there was something else wrong. It was nothing to do with me drinking at all. There was something else wrong. I was feeling rubbish for other reasons other than drinking, and when I was told by my family and friends, a few close friends, and that it's a drinking, Trina, it's a drinking, and I would flip at them and say it's not the drinking. I would defend it, and I would defend it to the hilt. And now I know, looking back now, that it was definitely the drink, and it took me to some deep, dark places.
What did the doctors say to you when you were in hospital? Was it a case of, look, if you don't stop, that you're not going to survive this?
Well, yeah, that was what they said. But first of all, they kind of like said, "You're lucky to be here now." So, so it's I haven't had a drink since December the 3rd, 2019. Not that I'm counting. No, it's a very poignant thing. I spent a month in hospital over Christmas and New Year, just them building me up. I couldn't walk. I couldn't get out of bed. I was, like I say, painfully thin, and I couldn't walk because I just didn't have the strength. So, I was being taken to the toilet, and if I could get sort of thing, and it's I was a big mess, and like I said, very lucky to survive.
At its worst, how much were you drinking a day?
At its worst for me, probably realistically, all depends really, but I was probably, because I was going to the pub at dinner times as well and having a practice. Sometimes I'd have a practice, sometimes I'd use it as an excuse to go to the pub, and not get my darts out at all.
Yeah.
And I am hold my hands up to that because I have done that, and probably between 3 to 4 bottles of wine a day, every day. So it really took hold of me. Really did take hold.
You obviously said you defended it to the hilt. Was it a relief off your shoulders when you finally admitted there was a problem?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I did seek help before all this occurred. I tried to go. It wasn't AA that I went to. It was a thing called Turning Point. But that didn't work for me, and I think that didn't work for me because it was done in a group, and I felt really awkward with that.
Yeah.
I felt a bit embarrassed by it, so and I did get recognised, and that's not.
Yeah.
That doesn't help, especially when you're trying to. You've got a problem.
Yeah.
Kind of. You're kind of like half admitting the problem.
Yeah.
But then when you go and you're trying to keep it quiet to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You're trying to do this yourself, but when you go into a meeting then that's got other people, then it's hard to keep quiet.
Yeah, embarrassing because they recognised you as well, and it's like, trying to shy away from it a little bit.
Yeah, it was. Embarrassing, and I didn't. I'm not one for really speaking out a lot, but that's something I've had to do to cope with my demons. Depression as well. And it's something I've had to do to get through this. And every day's a battle.
Yeah. Just looking back on a couple of things you said there, obviously depressed as well. Did that play a major part in drinking as well? But while you are depressed.
Yeah, I mean, you when you're depressed, you tend to drink because you think it makes you better, but it actually makes you worse. So but I was just looking for that elusive answer at the end of the bottle, then, if you like. And if I didn't find it in that one, I'd open another one. And it was as simple as that, really. I'm being very harsh with myself, but reality is that really was how it was.
Yeah.
I didn't have the answers, and because I've been so successful, and that to be that successful, you have to be in control.
Yeah.
And I was totally out of control. Not just with drinking, but with my life, personal life. I lost my mum. The whole shebang. When I think about it, it goes back a long way. My drinking. It's not just it's not just recently. It's not just, it goes back even when I won the World Championship in 2001. It's just been a gradual slippery slope all the way. So it's gone back. It's gone back a long way.
I was going to say, and you kind of touched on it now, identifying obviously where it went wrong, because you've had a lot of things in your personal life as well. Obviously dealing with your sexuality as well, coming out and probably the wrong term, but you know what I mean. Obviously that, losing your mum as well in that time period. Can you actually put a point on it where you think it all started?
I would probably say it was when I separated from my husband.
Yeah.
I was drinking then, but nowhere near. Just the general drink. And that, but it was nowhere near what what I became.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say when I split from my husband and dealt with my sexuality, that was major. I tried to shut myself off from everybody because I was petrified. I was absolutely petrified that, Winmore being one of my sponsors as well, I was thinking, right, I'm going to lose my sponsors. I'm going to lose my friends. Is my family going to understand? I was petrified, and that was added pressure. And so you try and mask it, kind of thing, to a certain extent, because you're worried about how people are going to react. And I didn't come out to my family for quite a while. They actually guessed.
Right. Okay.
So, which helped. But it's no, that was so from then on. It's been an ongoing battle, really.
Is it worse trying to hide demons and secrets when you are in the public eye, like you were for that time period as well?
It is, because you don't. Well, because you are in the public eye, and you have like a fan base, then I guess.
Yeah.
And you are, your fans are everything, and your family's everything, and I was worried that I was disappointing people. I wasn't this, not perfect, but this stalwart that had no problems at all, and I was normal, but you do feel that pressure. You feel like you're kind of like worried that you're going to put a foot wrong then.
Just again touching on bits and bobs you said there about when you were playing on stage. Did it ever get to the point all that bad that you drunk that much that you couldn't remember being on stage or anything like that?
No, not that bad. No, I always kept it that I did the job first.
Yeah.
I did have a drink before it and everything, but then it got towards the end of it. It got towards the point where I'd be playing really well early on in the day, and then towards the end of the day I'd be getting tired, and I'd be getting to loads of quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then after that, I was just exhausted and probably had too much to drink. So, and I was just tired, and and I couldn't, because I was drinking so much. I couldn't last the day physically.
Yeah, I can completely understand. And then your rehab starts. You're in hospital, as you say, for that month.
Yeah.
Can you remember waking up in hospital or anything like that, or is that all a bit of a blur as well?
It's some of it's a bit of a blur. So I had some amazing hallucinations. I can tell you that. But it was yes, it was really weird, and I did hallucinate a lot. And I guess that was because I wasn't having any alcohol. That it was like going dry sort of thing. And they were obviously using medication to substitute it, then, if you like, to a certain degree. Because if you come off the drink that quick, then you can fit and die. So So they were obviously managing it, but I wasn't with it for a lot of the time that I was in there. And when I thought I was with it, I was just making up stories. So I didn't know. I don't know. You'd be surprised.
Just touch it again a little bit that you said there. Is your body craving it to start with when you're trying to?
I guess so. Like I say, I can't really remember that much. I remember feeling awful, cold, and then them putting tubes down me, and stuff like that, and just struggling. But I mean, hallucinations were. I was convinced there was somebody sat on my shoulder, sort of thing. You know, a fellow in a white t-shirt, just sat there looking at me. And I'd be speaking to my sisters, saying, "He's here again, isn't he?" And they'd go, "Who?" I goes, "That bloke. He's sat there. Look, nobody there." And then there was some girl sat in the sink next to me, next to my bed, and it was just, it was really weird, really weird. I can look back and laugh at it now, but at the time, it was very real to me. It was very real to me, so it was scary.
It sounds it, and your family and friends must have been scared out of their minds seeing a family member go through this more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, when I look back now and I think, oh my God, I must have been so hard working, and then to keep their patience with me, thank God, my sisters and my brother, and my nieces and nephews, and they've said now, which it's surprising again, it's like having, my nieces and nephews are saying it's like having the old Auntie Trina back. So, they've noticed, and and I've obviously kind of like let them down along the way. But it is what you've got to realise is it is a disease, an illness, and that's how I've come to terms with it a little bit. It's okay. I've carried it forward, and I've got worse with it, but it's something that's I haven't purposely tried to do. It's been my crutch, really, and it's the wrong thing to do. But it's I would not like to go back there at all.
For all the good darts does, and it's a tremendous sport, is alcohol always going to be the demon within the sport?
I think it will. And because of where it originates from, and I think there's a lot more people that within darts that suffer with alcohol, but it's I'm an obvious one then now, if you like.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, people noticed apparently, but I wasn't aware that people were, and I tried to hide it more than what I was letting on. So I was drinking far more than what I was letting on to people. But yeah, that's it's just a hard place to be, and it's I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, really.
The road to recovery, obviously a very rocky road. I know that you've spoken about it there. How has that been, and is it literally an hour at a time, a day at a time?
Yeah, it's very much so. In the beginning, it was an hour at a time. Like I say, I couldn't. When I was in hospital, I couldn't even feed myself very well. I got a drink and I couldn't. My coordination was all over the place. So it's been really hard, and obviously things have got better as it's gone on. But there's difficult days, still where you just think it would be nice to have a drink, but then you look at the other side of things, and I just remember where it put me, sort of thing, where it left me, and and I have been so And then you look at people as well. You look at the family, and like you say, how worried they were, and you know, to think what you've put them through as well. Like my sisters and that, and my girlfriend Nicole as well. I mean, she's been amazing. So and you know, and there's been so much support there, but not everybody's got that. And I'm lucky. I'm lucky in that way. You know, I've had counselling as well, so and I'm continuing to do that. So which is one-on-one, which has made the difference for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's continuing to go forward, but each day is different, you know, and it's more hour by hour now rather than minute by minute then to start off with, sort of thing, you know, or day by day now, just hour by hour.
Touching on what you said there about your support network and everything like that, do you feel without that love and support that you had from your amazing network that you wouldn't be sat here talking to me today?
Absolutely not. I would not. Without a doubt, I would be 6 foot under, without a doubt, you know. And you know, depression comes in as well with alcohol, and depression was there before alcohol, really, for me. I've always struggled with it, and there's a lot of people that struggle with mental health that you would never think, you know, and yeah, not everything's honky dory all the time. You know, you keep that smile on your face, don't you? A lot of things get hidden.
Going through what you've been through and you've come out the other side, young players listen to this, or even an older player listening to this, do you think there's advice that you could give them, knowing what you've been through, and if they wanted to get in touch, can they? So you can sort of guide them and say, look, this is what it can do. Don't let it take hold.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'd be willing to do that. Of course, you know, I've had. I think what's helped with me as well is that my counsellor had the same problem as me. So and now he's a counsellor. So you're talking to somebody that knows exactly what you're going through, and that makes a big difference, I think. Well, it did for me anyway. You know, and what worked for me is not necessarily going to work for somebody else. You know, so there's all different ways of approaching things and going about it. But yes, I'd be happy to talk to somebody if they needed help. By all means, I don't want somebody else to be where I was.
One day, could we see the Golden Girl pick the darts up again, or because of the environment, is the temptation always going to be too great for you to play at that level again?
Temptation's always there. I mean, the temptation would be in the house, really. If I wanted to that much,
yeah,
you know, I could do it anywhere, really.
Yeah.
But yes, you know, there is that fear then, if you like, that the temptation being there more. But I want to come back to darts. You know, I'd like to play again. But there's no way that I will be doing it on the same scale as I was before. You know, there's a lot to be said for not having to pack a case on a Friday.
Yeah.
To fly off somewhere and come back on a Monday, and you know, just to go have a normal weekend somewhere. You know, go to Warwick Castle or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just to do normal things. So yes, there's a lot to be said to that, and I'm looking forward to getting that sort of thing back in my life.
Also, whilst you've been away recovering, the ladies' game is really starting to flourish now. People are starting to take note of what wonderful players that you all are, and some that you pioneered in the start. Obviously, Makuru, Fallon, Lisa, really setting the standards now, and that must bring a warm inner glow to yourself that it's really beginning to be recognised.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's it's brilliant, and they are playing really, really well at the moment. You know, and we're getting the platform as well. So, you know, a bigger platform, and that's great. That can only be good for ladies darts, and I hope it moves forward even more.
Over the last 2 years, obviously, Fallon doing what she did on the PDC stage, and then Lisa winning a tour card. Are they real breakthrough moments for the ladies' sport?
Yeah, of course they are. You know, every unique moment is a breakthrough. So yes, of course. You know, both of them have done really, really well in their careers as well. You know, we're being given that opportunity again to do this, and it's taken some time. Again, we're always behind the ladies, but you know, it's getting there, and the proof is there that we can perform against the guys, and you know, and it's good entertainment too.
And then again, another sour note here potentially, an organisation that you championed for so many years. The way it all ended, and it seems to have finished. Is that a bitter note to end the BDO on as well? Because it's an organisation that has been in so many darting hearts for so many years, and the way it ended just doesn't really seem right.
No, it's not. You know, it's a great shame, and but you know, I don't really know the ins and outs of all that. So, but it is a great shame, you know, and we need somebody to pick up the ladies' game now and go with that. And Rome World Championship, maybe, you know, perhaps Barry Hearn can do something there.
Yeah, Barry or the WDF or something like that. Obviously,
WDF,
little Richard massively involved in the WDF as well. That I'm sure he won't forget you all.
He won't know because I'll be on the phone to him.
Yeah. And again, just as we wrap this up, just looking back, are there any thank yous you'd like to say to your friends and family that have stuck by you through this whole difficult and traumatic time?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I just want to say a massive thank you to a variety of people, even strangers. You know, my specialist has been just absolutely. He's going to be a friend for life. That's what he told me anyway. You know, so we'll have a date every 3 months or something like that. So, and you know, my counsellors have been great. My sisters, my brother. Like I said, my nieces and nephews, they've all been so good and so supportive, and like I said, Nicole as well. She's been absolutely amazing, and without them, there's no doubt whatsoever that I wouldn't be wouldn't be here today. Absolutely not. And like the sponsors as well. The sponsors have been very understanding. Winmore, especially, Mr. Flack. You know, he's been absolutely brilliant. So very understanding, and you know, all that's helped. And even like I said, strangers that have heard about it. Then, if you like, you know, just saying, just offering support, which is amazing. It's amazing. I wouldn't be here. Trina. So thank you so much to everybody.
Trina, thank you very much for your time this afternoon and your battle against depression, alcohol, and everything like that. Not many people in the darting world have known this. So thank you very much for being so open and honest and speaking about it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye.